Your hands, up close, are anything but smooth. With peaks and valleys, folds and rifts, there are lots of concealing places for an infection to stick. If you then touch your face, the infection can contaminate you. However, there are two extremely basic ways you can keep that from taking place: soap and water, and hand sanitizer. So which is much better? The coronavirus that causes COVID-19 is one of the lots of viruses whose protective outer surface area is made from a lipid bilayer. These lipids are pin-shaped molecules whose heads are brought into the water, and tails are repulsed by it. So in water-rich environments, lipids naturally form a shell like this, with the heads outside and the tails inside. Their shared response to water makes the lipids stick loosely together. This is called the hydrophobic impact. This outer structure assists the molecular machinery of the infection break through cellular membranes and pirates our cells. But it has thousands upon thousands of weak points where the right molecules could pry it apart. And this is where soap comes in. A single drop of any brand name of soap consists of quadrillions of particles called amphiphiles, which look like biological lipids. Their tails, which are similarly repulsed by water, compete for space with the lipids that make up the virus's shell. But they're simply different enough to separate the consistency of the infection's membrane, making the entire thing come crashing down. Those amphiphiles then form bubbles of their own around particles consisting of the infection's RNA and proteins. Apply water, and you'll wash that entire bubble away. Hand sanitizers work less like a crowbar, and more like an earthquake. When you surround a coronavirus with water, the hydrophobic impact provides the bonds within the membrane their strength. That same result likewise holds the huge proteins that form coronavirus's spikes in place, and in the shape that allows them to contaminate your cells. If you dry the infection out in the air, it keeps its stability. Today surround it with a high concentration of alcohol, like ethanol or isopropanol found in a lot of hand sanitizers. This makes the hydrophobic effect vanish and gives the particles space to walk around. The total impact resembles eliminating all of the nails and mortar from a home and after that hitting it with an earthquake. The cell's membrane collapses and those spiked proteins fall apart. In either method, the actual process of damaging the infection occurs in simply a second or more. But doctors advise a minimum of 20 seconds of hand washing because of the elaborate landscape that is your hand. Soap and sanitizer require to get all over, including your palms, fingertips, the beyond your hands, and in between your fingers, to secure you correctly. And when it concerns a coronavirus breakout, physicians recommend cleaning your hands with soap and water whenever possible. Even though both techniques are similarly efficient at killing the infection, soap and water have two benefits. First, it removes any dirt which might otherwise hide infection particles. However, more notably, it's just much easier to completely cover your hands with soap and water for 20 seconds. Obviously, hand sanitizer is easier to use on the go. In the lack of a sink, utilize the sanitizer as completely as possible and rub your hands together till they're dry. Sadly, there are billions of individuals who do not have access to clean drinking water, which is a substantial problem at any time, however, specifically during a breakout. Scientists and help groups are working to provide options for these communities. One example is a gadget that utilizes salt, water, and a car and truck battery to make chlorinated water that kills harmful pathogens and is safe for hand washing. So any place possible, soap and water is advised for a coronavirus. However, does that indicate its finest for every single viral outbreak? Not always. Lots of acute rhinitis are caused by rhinoviruses that have a geometric protein structure called a capsid instead of a lipid membrane. The capsid doesn't have almost as numerous weak points where soap amphiphiles can pry it apart, so it takes longer for soap to be effective. Nevertheless, some of its surface proteins are still vulnerable to the destabilizing effect of hand sanitizer. In this incomparable cases, hand sanitizer may be more effective, particularly if you then clean your hands to get rid of residual particles. Let us hear from you in the comments area below. Enjoyed this video? Hit the like button and show your pals. Also, subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Thanks for watching.